night long.
It's effortless.
Oh my God. Oh my word. The things we have descended into, 40.
That's true.
The point
Dang, these puns are bad. Yeah? All right. I'm going to take that as a you quit.
Out of here.
I regret nothing.
I'll hang you out to dry.
Oh, man. You're Kilsoning me right now.
Oh, God. I can't think of any more, though. I was really trying, but I'm going to give up, I think.
You're throwing up a brick. I'm off the chain.
Well, no, this is cheat. You're going through the. You're just going through the names.
It's all right.
Now.
The camera's not on us.
This table's a mess. This table's just full of names. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
There we go. We're loading into our first map. And it's going to be Base and whaz. Get that energy going because it's the final series of the night. whaz going in with that Doomslayer base with the visor. And immediately, we'll see what the first play is going to be. Goes in for the rail angle. Doesn't quite manage to land it. Base now popping the piercing sight in return. Now we're going back to that interesting sign because these are two champions that can't necessarily fly all around the map. I know Doomslayer has that double jump, which we've seen it put in all the work before, but two mediums, on Awoken is a bit of a slugfest sometimes. Here comes Base looking to really push him away, get that entry damage on the rail first though, and then we can make that divide even bigger. Base in a great position to just chase this down. Unfortunately, missing the rail means it's going to be a little bit tricky. Especially as that Mega just gets collected by whaz. Quite a few rails haven't quite hit their mark yet, though.
Just warming up here as we're in the first minute of this first map. Last set of the day for round of 16. Who will advance to round of 12? And Base, again, right off the bat, not afraid to play a little bit slow. He's going to eat a little bit of Tri-Bolt. He does have vision if he wants to pop it. Is whaz trying to thread some rockets through that drive-through window there.
Yeah, totally content taking the damage if it means it's minimal, and at the same time we can still get the heavy. The objective is to score that important pickup, piercing sight rail. That's such a good rail, it should give whaz a little bit of an indication that was piercing sight used, so hopefully he's got the mental timer on that cooldown ready to go soon. And now Base looking to optimize those hourglasses, just try and lower that cooldown as much as possible. Minimal LG damage so far. Answering back with LG of his own. Heavy's about to spawn. whaz, I fear, might have been a little bit too early. Does manage to collect the heavy, but at what cost? Looks like it's going to be the frag. It will be 1-0 for Base. 1 minute and 40 in.
Base was completely okay with that. Here comes the Berserk. And I think he got caught up. I'm not sure if he tried to lock on. He is going to eat a rail, and that was unnecessary. whaz needed to get out of there quicker, but he felt it. He wanted to go berserk and punch his way to a tie game. Unfortunately for him, not landing. Base out of rails. He's going to walk up there, help himself to a few more as he drops down to grab that half armor.
Kind of sucks really because the Berserk was very, very close to being able to kill Base that situation. Didn't really have any armor. Is going to be able to follow this up perhaps. Going in for the Mega. Catches the rhythm perfectly in between Tri-Bolt shots. And importantly, denying it from whaz at the same time. Has a fighting chance, but desperately needs armor. We've seen what armorless champions are capable of, and that's dying a lot.
Quite a bit. I love the switch to machine gun from whaz, and I also love this push with the LG, and he gets that frag back. Takes him a little bit, but not afraid to get in there as he's going to have perfect positioning on this heavy. He's going to get it for free. Can he rotate back to the Mega? 5 seconds. He's going to make his way towards the T-Con aggressively. Tri-Bolt out. And I think this is going to be a crazy play if he pushes too much. Already taking a lot of LG damage. Base ready for the attack.
Yeah, gone back to that 1-1 situation. A little bit of damage on the rocket, but whaz has to be really careful that he's not backed himself into a corner. Wonderful rocket jump to hit an angle that Base is just completely incapable of shooting at that stage. But whaz, he's not out of hell just yet. He's got plenty of situations to die if he gets clipped by one rail. He is actually railable at this current health, and the Mega hasn't spawned. Even now he's railable, has to be very, very careful. Base having the Mega in sight. Oh, actually, no, he drops back entirely. Maybe he's assuming whaz is going to go collect it.
whaz making his way there slowly. And Base, I don't know if he missed the jump. Oh, he dropped down for the armor. That could have been a big cutoff there if he would have jumped into the cubby, but whaz will be fortunate enough to grab a free Mega, and he's going to make his way over to this half armor shard. And T-Con there after hitting a rail. Rail fired back by Base, so that'll even it out a bit. As Base has the armor advantage right now. He's going to get a lot of LG, needs to be careful. Good thing he didn't go up the jump pad, the swap to rail. Good bait by whaz. Still holding the angle, misses with the rail, hits with the secondary. Can he hit with one more?
But going up that jump pad's definitely suicide. He's trying to hit a magic angle on the Mega instead. Misses the shot, and the downtime is going to be a free Mega for Base. The reward is great, as now Base gets the light armor too. And he's wonderfully stacked to take a fight here. whaz forced to double back towards Banana. The rail's going to miss, thankfully, so he's actually still in a good position to take a fight if he wants, but Base has ultimate control. That's a very important rail to undo a lot of that heavy work that was just collected. And crazy, it's been a 1-1. Rare that you see a 1-1 on Awoken this late on. Good catch on the rail.
Patient play here, good rail. A little bit of tribal to try and keep him alive and get away. One defensive rocket just in case the chase was on, but whaz is hurting Base, looking very strong right now. Good stack. Don't think whaz can really contest this heavy. He is going to try and set up a rail. If Base falls into the angle, he will get hit, but free pickup as whaz opts to move to the tri-bolt and spamming towards rockets a little bit, and here comes a Base barreling up the stairs, a little bit of LG. And he's going to come around the corner with the rockets out. whaz playing defensive, but he's going to hit the jump pad, and this could be death, and it is as Base switches to the shotgun to finish the job.
It's a really awkward exchange right there. Kind of getting caught swapping weapons, not 100% being confident in which one to use. But Base had the prize in sight, right? He was in a situation where he said, well, you're point blank, and I know I've done plenty of damage. The SSG should all have to just breathe on you at this stage and take you out. A minor lead exists, but not only the frag difference, but a lead in stack, that's for sure. Look at Base's health and armor. Definitely something you have to worry about. The piercing sight is used to just pepper out the LG. whaz is going to fall without really scathing Base too much. Those armor shards are going to be most appreciated, but what will be even more is that mega health and the light armor to finish the job. And now whaz is straight back into a weird position where, look, if a fight happens, just be careful of the stack. LG, but he's almost out of cells. Gets taken, but no weapon swap, goes in for the rail. Both players extremely weak. Base having the SSG just in case he shows his face.
Base making his way to the T-Con now, grabbing that 50 shard as well as a 25. Almost finds the angle on Banana. whaz just coming out. Here's the Berserk. He really wants to have a fist fight here. And now he's just dancing all day. Steals the Mega and somehow dodges these rails. And Base a little bit frustrated, a little bit of a deep sigh right there.
Yeah,
he still has the lead.
I'm sure that the combat wasn't really the intended purpose for sure. I mean, if he was point blank, then maybe, but fundamentally, you know, for those unaware, Doom's Berserk mode, giving him an instant max speed, you know, that he's stuck to. So it's so good at getting in and out and taking items. Unfortunately, not going to help him there as Base goes point blank and gives him a little bit of that super shotgun deliverance. But yeah, using it as a mobility tool is ultimately the real hidden use for Doomslayer's Berserk, plus the double jump being the main reason that you really picked this champion. Loads of damage just came through the SSG again, and Base is looking for another magic angle to hit. He is slowly but surely extending that lead to impressive degrees. whaz hasn't really got the stack to try and deny. He has to try and maybe get some damage if he can, but if he tries to just challenge the heavy outright, it's suicide. He has nowhere near enough stack. The timing on the Mega a little bit early, but once more, he's done so much damage to whaz that he can't stick around and fight. He has to concede it.
That's just so weak right now.
Oh,
he shouldn't even be here.
Bait. Ooh. I respect that attempt by Base, actually, giving whaz the illusion that it's free to take. The moment whaz goes to collect it, that rail would have been absolutely fantastic. And at this stage, you know, Base doesn't really need to go in and take the Mega. He has a decent amount of stack to begin with, and if he could have got the frag first. Worth sitting around for a few seconds. Piercing sight rail again, 5-1. Can he get some damage on the spawn? I wonder.
Oh, the LG push right off the spawn. whaz fighting for his life, and Banana to no avail as Base takes the lead 6-1. Widening the margin here. Decent rocket follow-up won't land. And the Mega's right there, so Base negates all that damage, and this is looking very, very dire for whaz right now. Down 5 with 2 minutes.
whaz has reached that very awkward stage. Oh, disgusting SSG.
The shotgun's so strong.
He's reached that awkward phase where he now has to really try and force the issue. He doesn't have time to be reserved anymore and look for that one opportunity to get a comeback. The chance of getting a frag and then getting 5 more, like back to back to back, you almost never see it, right? So he now has to almost like force this situation and try and make a frag happen. Unfortunately, if that involves being a bit more aggressive, Base is going to be wise to that. However, punishing the downtime in between rails, but Base's timing on the Mega far too significant to really make a dent in it.
So what you're saying is it's time to panic.
I definitely think it's time to panic.
Ooh, the shotgun not going to succeed this time, but whaz very, very injured with a minute 15. This is going to be all uphill here if he can make this work. Needs to grab everything he can as quick as he can and make his way back to the Mega, and then he just needs to go on the hunt.
I mean, 1 minute to get 5 frags while making sure you concede none of it. maybe one of those impossible tasks at this point, especially as whaz just constantly takes rails like that. Base has no interest in taking a fight. He just wants to make whaz as weak as possible, so it's hard to get the frag. Maybe it gives him a chance to trade off instead. A lot more damage coming through. Oh, the double back.
Again.
You thought, think again.
He's like, you're Doomslayer. You love the shotgun, right? Here, have another.
Let me play
8-2.
Doom Eternal, please.
30 seconds here. Another shotgun blast. There's the Berserk. There's a punch. There's the Mega Steel. And away he goes.
Oh.
And a rail. Oh, wow. Base looking for that angle. He's like, I'll risk it all in the window.
This is the SS. Oh,
wow,
trades it at the last second. Not that that really would have mattered. This map was definitely over about a minute and a half ago, I think. But it is going to be bases. Looking for some final frags if he can get it. But not quite. whaz able to secure one more, but yeah, just like that, 40, a 1-0 to base outright.
Very well done. Very well played there by base. Just getting so much use out of that super shotgun. Not afraid to just put it to his chest, do what he needed to do. And that's a big, big start for base here in this series.
I almost feel like whaz is one of those awkward positions where, you know, using the Berserk to try and steal, I almost feel like he knows he's guaranteed to take some rail damage. It's more, I don't want to get away with a stack. I kind of know you're going to rail me because I'm stuck in melee, and I'm stuck at a set movement speed. You know, it's not one of those things where you can kind of elude somebody. Berserk does stick you into a set speed all the time until it runs out. So I'm going to get in and take it away from you, but then what's the plan B? By that point, he's also quite weak again, and then base quite often would just chase it down. We kind of got an example as to why we don't really get to see a lot of Berserks in competitive play, especially in these kind of situations where a Visor with piercing sight and plenty of rail ammo will just absolutely annihilate a Doomslayer that does it a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, he went in for a lot of those different plays near heavy, and base was just kind of coming off a little bit better every single time. But I mean, just like that, one map is down, 40, potentially one more to go.
One map down, and I think we're going into arguably one of base's strongest maps.
Uh-oh.
That's the real danger here, is we're going to get into Blood Run. It's going to be Ranger versus Galena. Uphill battle for whaz. He's going to need a lot of that wazzle-dazzle to try and dig himself out of this hole here as we take a look at the stats from that map. Base doing a great job. Again, pretty good control of the heavy and mega. And weapon accuracy, I mean, not too bad. 81% shotgun. Whole lot of buckshot for dinner for whaz tonight, but hopefully he can try and avoid that on the second map.
But I know that kind of accuracy, all it really suggests is that by the time he was using SSG, he was using it at a range where it's almost impossible to miss, which means he's using it properly. But what a kind of mental block you might have to face going up against base where you're one map away from being eliminated from the Stage 1 finals, and then in this situation, you're having to play against someone on what is essentially their home. Yeah. You know, they've opened the door, they've let you in, you're a guest. Yeah. And now you have to try and...
now you're stuck in here with me for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely an uphill battle for whaz, but he's fighting for his tournament life here, as this is potentially the last map of the day in round of 16. Winner will move on to round of 12 and face off with the hometown hero, Wenger. Already shaking his head. I don't know what that's about, but...
unless base said something stupid in the chat.
We'll see. We'll see if it affects whaz, as we are live in map number 2 on Blood Run. A little bit of LG from down below as whaz trying to pin a base to that heavy armor. Items traded. The orb not used. More importantly, he could use it to get up here and deny rockets, but he won't. He'll just miss a rail and go through the telly instead. He'll grab this 50 shard, and that stacks about even. Not too bad of a start for either player, really.
Totem being cleared away, something that we always have to see at this stage. The moment you let a totem go, Galena can just begin that daisy chain of all-important utility. But here comes the rotation of the main items. No significant split in between them just yet, which always opens up an interesting game of chicken, right? If they are content to trade it off consistently, how far do you go before one player decides to break the cycle and then try and make a play happen, and then maybe try and strong-arm their way into both of them? But I think so far whaz is showing a enormous amount of respect to where base might be.
Playing very, very slow here in the first minute. Not afraid to slow things down. Eating a lot of LG into rail. That's going to hurt, as he's just trying to lay an egg on this mega. There's the orb for misdirection. He's going to go through the telly, but the heavy is already gone. Taking a lot of damage, but again, with the items at hand, kind of evening out the stack here. That's a great rail. That's going to help, but the rail from base, keeping the advantage in his favor. Down goes the totem. Well dealt with.
Mutually missed rail both sides, actually, so There by all means should be another giant push. whaz is going to look to try and push base away from this mega spawn. Very risky indeed. Times it perfectly and times the rail even better. That was a risky play, a bold play, but one that definitely had to be done. Base fresh off the spawn, but whaz not going to chase it. He wants to maintain that high ground control. If he maintains up top, he can keep those small little items anyway, and then fight, keep heavy mega whenever it spawns.
If he was there a little bit earlier, he could have gotten a lot more LG damage out, but for now he's going to be content with the 1-0 lead. 2 minutes in, Mega's going to be up first, followed by the heavy. What a rail from base. He wants more, but the Tri-Bolt's going to keep him at bay. The 225's already taken. whaz in a very dangerous position here, and he's actually going to orb, and he does, and it could cost him his life, and it does. And that may have been a little bit too much from whaz. If he decided to do that, I would have liked to see a rocket jump, but even then, base was ready for it. Here's a lot of LG coming out of base as whaz drops down into danger.
But now base is sitting near the mega, and even if he doesn't have complete timing on it now, he's going to get it now. Here it comes. Guaranteed. That's going to be 305. Thank you very much. But now making it a 1-1. That's a bit of a... too much of a hasty decision made by whaz towards the heavy. I mean, not only the fact that the die roll, obviously, it makes your position quite well known. Oh no, they both gravitate for it at exactly the same time. Base with the head shake of, oh, come on, man. Really?
What a thief. He stole our hearts as whaz. Still 1-1 here. Base on the hunt. Zach's about even after he grabs that 50 shard. 3 minutes in. Base looking to just close this out in 2. whaz looking to extend to a third map.
There's going to be a lot of morale coming off the fact that if whaz is able to defeat base on his home turf, making it a 1-1 would give whaz plenty of momentum, that's for sure. But here comes the verticality. Some pretty hard shots to take from here. Dropping down the totem just to try and stay safe. Orb used to distract. Not really a problem though, as base gets some of that damage on the rail. Undoes a lot of that hard work, in fact. But at this point, what do you do? Naturally, a very slow map is Blood Run. Yeah, don't be surprised to see them go back and forth for a fair few minutes before any frags happen, but a lot will happen in between those lines.
So I like this patient play from base, just waiting, trying to figure out, are you going to go through the telly? How do you feel? Waiting with a rocket, there's a fake rocket jump, just baiting him out, making sure he's not waiting above shotgun there.
Combination of the fake rocket jump into the Tri-Bolt just to try and lure him around the corridor. I mean, if he took that bait, Tri-Bolt melts much more than people would probably give the weapon credit for.
There's a good rocket into LG float, and there's another fake rocket jump. Base not afraid to play some mind games here and try and force you a certain direction.
But I also think that's giving whaz quite a lot of information, or base a lot of information at the same time, that hey, whaz may be not the type to super bite to those baits. Able to dismiss again just in case. And here we go. We're looking to try and take this. And let's not forget the 3 flaming totems on the bottom of the screen. Overstack is a possibility. A portable mega on demand. Look at that stack difference, and the mega's just about to spawn. This is the strength of a Galena that just has that dance going with all the totems. Looks like mega's about to spawn. It being taken, of course, shaves off cooldown time. The fake rocket jump once more. Really trying to just play those mind games with whaz.
And that overstack, those flaming hot Cheetos are just going to be so crucial right now. whaz needs to do his best to just try and get rid of them as quickly as he can. Base is looking so stacked right now. whaz is going to grab a 50 shard. 5 minutes in, still tied at 1. But if base finds whaz, this could be curtains. He's going to miss a rail. Base will not miss his rail. And now whaz down to 25 HP needs to figure out how to save his life.
A very scary scenario if you're whaz. There's not a lot of options to go and get health back. Least of all to a point where it really matters. The overstack has been real this entire time. Most of this map, those totems have just been active. Finally managed to take one out, but there's plenty more where that came from. If you're playing this slow game and maybe you are content to leave it to 1 frag, quite risky against a Galena that has this constant rhythm going. I'd be a little bit nervous if I was in whaz's position. Base now has plenty of stacks to work with. Mega has spawned, but is yet to be taken. Base really trying to optimize the cooldown for totem as much as physically possible.
He's got one in the pocket now. Again, as we mentioned previously, this is base at his finest. Playing slow on Blood Run, just cycling items. He doesn't need to take any fights. He has the overstack. He's going to run right by whaz. The Dire Orb comes out with rockets, forcing him through the telly. Misses with the rail. The shotgun comes out from base. He does hit a rail, 24 HP, 225s to work with an additional for base and a 50 shard. And that could have gone terribly. whaz still really hurt. He's going to try and fight for this, and the LG will melt him and the mega pickup. And I think whaz, he believed. He wanted that frag really bad, didn't have the stack. Base read it, and that rocket into LG again, perfectly placed. 3-1 in a matter of seconds.
I mean, springing that trap near Mega wasn't even a horrendous idea. The whole purpose of, look, I know you're going to run the circuit, maybe temporarily that one time you just get too comfortable, which is exactly what happened here. Base wasn't really being as careful as maybe he should have been because he was so used to just cycling the map and kind of collecting whatever he wants because he's the one in control. whaz very nearly managed to get the frag, which would have changed the entire game. But here comes the Mega and the totems to come back too, almost done on their cooldown. whaz peppering out as much range damage as possible. It's not really going to matter a whole lot unless he takes out the totems. The overstack just matters way too much.
There's the Dire Orb. He's going to grab the heavy, but now he might get pinned with the LG, and that is pixel perfect there from base. Electrifying as he goes up 4-1. One step closer to the round of 12 here. Lots of machine gun damage coming out from whaz, trying to fight back with everything he's got. 2.5 minutes left in the game.
Significantly behind too, forced to spawn, so he's having to cycle around and collect some of those weapons before he's even ready to fight. It's all going to take time, and unfortunately time is something whaz absolutely does not have at this moment. The totem's about to come back. Base always giving himself just a micro mega whenever he wants. Some damage is looking good, but the totems did too much damage. whaz, very weak indeed, has to retreat down into power up room now. See what can be done. There should be a decent amount to take at the very least. He's got 100 health, but he needs to wait around for the armor. There it is. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. He has to get 2 frags. Definitely possible. Do not count this guy out. But you know, Base, he plays at a snail's pace, and he's not afraid to do so. Plenty of damage to force whaz away. And at this point, he doesn't even need to get the frag. Yes, it would be nice, but the important thing is just keeping whaz away from him and just waste as much time as possible. He's already wasted 30 seconds. Quarter of the work is done, 40.
And the problem with for whaz is that overstack is going to come back and haunt him. He finally face checks a totem and gets one down, but could be too little too late. With 1.5 minutes left, he's got to get 2 frags on Blood Run. That's not going to be an easy feat.
whaz is really doing everything in his power to find him if he can, but you can see Base not even caring that his totems are in plain sight anymore. That's just fortification, if anything. 1 minute 10 left to go. And whaz getting juggled by the Tri-Bolt. Base going in for the kill, but that defensive 100, really good. Forcing Base to turn around, but he can't get the rail in time. Base may have just sealed whaz's fate. We might have a 2-0 here, 40.
Oh, the idea was there. He just couldn't get the shot off. And now Base is just going to push with the shotgun. And a bit of a nightmare ending here as Base is up 6-2 and the time is ticking away, and it looks like Base is going to move on to the round of 12. Just lacking a little bit of Wazzle Dazzle. Never mind, there is quite the Shub Slayer.
But there's 3 frags. I mean, that's on average 1 every 10 seconds. Probably not possible, but a swag way to finish the job.
You just have to believe, Ketchup.
20 seconds to get 3 frags, though, 40.
Okay, I'm starting to not believe.
15 seconds to get 3 frags.
Misses with the rail. This is still well with it. It's not. It's gone. And it's gone.
Game over for sure. Base is going to conquer whaz at the last second. whaz has the last laugh, but ultimately, it is going to be Base walking away with the win. He really gave him a fight, but I just think fundamentally the moment you got to fight Base on Blood Run, there's just something about the way he approaches the game speed and the pace that when the momentum starts, it just keeps on rolling. But it is just the chokehold that Base can enforce. The moment we saw Galena as well, it was like, well, we already know how this map's going to go.
I mean, the overstack, that played a huge role in it, and it's really hard to go into Base's house and slap him around. Hats off to Base for taking it over whaz in 2-0 as we look at some of the highlights, and he's going to move on to the round.